She was born into the center of Egyptian religion, raised among the priests of a pagan temple. Yet somehow she became the wife of Joseph, the Hebrew man favored by God. Her name is Asenath, a woman mentioned only a few times in the Bible, but whose presence changed the course of history. Who was she really? Was her marriage to Joseph just political? Or is there more to her story, something deeper, something divine? Today we're uncovering the mystery of Asenath, the forgotten yet powerful wife of Joseph, and what her story reveals about God's grace, redemption, and destiny. We first meet Asenath in Genesis 41, verse 45, where it says, Pharaoh gave Joseph the name Zaphanath-Paneah and gave him Asenath, daughter of Potiphera, priest of On, as his wife. This moment happens right after Joseph interprets Pharaoh's dreams about the upcoming famine. Pharaoh is so impressed, he elevates Joseph to second in command, effectively prime minister of Egypt. As a sign of honor and assimilation, Joseph is given an Egyptian name and an Egyptian wife. But not just any wife, Asenath, the daughter of Potiphera, a high priest of On. Now this detail is important. The city of On, also known as Heliopolis, was one of the oldest and most prestigious religious centers in Egypt, dedicated to the worship of the sun god Ra. This means Asenath was born into a family deeply tied to Egyptian idolatry. Imagine the cultural clash. Joseph, a Hebrew, raised to believe in the one true God, Yahweh, and Asenath, a daughter of a priest devoted to the sun god. Why would God allow such a union? Some scholars suggest this was simply a political arrangement. Joseph was now Egyptian royalty. Marrying into a noble family would solidify his position. But others believe something deeper happened behind the scenes. There's a powerful idea here. Even in a foreign land, even surrounded by idol worship, God's purposes still prevail. Could it be that Asenath's story is one of quiet transformation? Early Jewish and Christian writers were fascinated by Asenath's silence in the Bible. Why was there no record of her words, her thoughts, her faith? This led to the creation of an ancient text called Joseph and Asenath. Though not included in the Bible, this story, written around the 1st century BCE, fills in the blanks. It tells of a beautiful and proud Egyptian woman who initially rejects Joseph, calling him a foreigner and a shepherd. But later she's overcome with conviction and repents in deep sorrow. She prays to the one true God, fasts for 7 days, and even has an encounter with an angel who blesses her and confirms that she is chosen. By the end of the story, Asenath is spiritually transformed, no longer just the daughter of a pagan priest, but a daughter of the Most High. Whether or not the ancient legend is historically accurate, one thing is clear from the Bible. Asenath becomes the mother of Ephraim and Manasseh, 2 sons who would become the heads of tribes in Israel. In fact, Ephraim becomes so prominent, the entire northern kingdom of Israel is sometimes referred to by his name. So think about that. A woman born into Egyptian paganism becomes part of the ancestral line of God's covenant people. That's not just a love story. That's a redemption story. Asenath may not have had a loud voice in Scripture, but her legacy whispers loudly across generations. Her story reminds us, God can use anyone, no matter their background. Transformation is always possible, even in the most unlikely of places. You don't have to be center stage to be part of God's plan. You may feel hidden, unqualified, or even out of place in a spiritual setting, but Asenath shows us that God's grace reaches across boundaries, cultural, religious, and personal. So the next time you read about Joseph and his rise to power, remember the quiet woman beside him, Asenath. She may have been mysterious, but her story is a reminder that God writes destinies in places we least expect. Have you ever felt like Asenath, overlooked or out of place in your faith journey? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more biblical insights, stories, and mysteries right here on Insight from Above. Until next time, stay curious, stay faithful, and stay rooted in truth.